Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead and put the questions in the comments. As promised, I am here to just answer your questions because yesterday I focused on that Project 2025, the immigration plan in Project 2025. I spent 30 minutes talking about it. If you want to see, go to the YouTube channel. So you can always find me on YouTube. And some of the content may be a little different than other platforms. So you can also follow me on YouTube. And then you'll see the video there about Project 2025 if you missed it. So today I'm just answering questions. So put those questions in the comments now. All right. Can I travel on travel document while my VAWA is pending? So that's what the travel document is there for. It is there to allow you to travel. Now, of course, the risk is not zero. This is where it's very important to have an attorney who you can turn to ask for advice about your particular risk. I would even say that the risk really depends on the person. Are there any additional risk factors in your background that would make it a little make the risk a little higher if you traveled? Because one thing is that even though it is there for you to leave and be able to come back in, it is not 100% guarantee if they find an issue when you're coming back in. So very important that you get that legal advice. I am not your attorney, so I can't tell you if it's safe for you to travel. But in general, what I can say is that's exactly what that travel document is there to do. I have my advance parole card. Will it be a problem to travel to Jamaica to see my sick grandmother and return? That's what it's there for. The travel document is there to travel. I'm not your attorney. I can't tell you in particular what I do with my clients. When my clients get the travel document and they're going to travel, I talk individually with my clients to make sure everything is good with their case. That is, they're not at an increased risk. And if they're at an increased risk, I do advise them about the risk. But that travel document is there to allow you to leave and come back with it while your process is pending. Good day, attorney. How do you know that your biometrics was okay after doing it for your case? So usually the officer will stamp your pay your biometrics notice. So keep that as a form of relief to show, a form of a receipt to show that you did the biometrics. But other than that, you went to the office to do the biometrics. So if anything went wrong there, they would tell you there. What's the news on VAWA? So in general, we don't have any additional news on VAWA. If you have any particular questions, go ahead and ask those questions about VAWA. I was fired from work because I marked no to sponsorship question, but HR said the sponsorship was available and still proceeded to terminate. So if you have any concerns about your immigration status related to your termination, you can always schedule an appointment. Let's talk more about that. But this is more circumstances based. Hi there, you're a great attorney. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate that. Good day. A stepfather can file for stepchild who come through the border. Great question. So that is the new law that is going to be coming out, that was announced, will cover step parents. One thing that's a little vague right now is whether they will allow the stepchild to apply as an individual or they have to apply with a parent. So we have to see what the instructions say there. That's a little vague. I'm looking to see what those particular instructions will be. but and in the announcement, stepchildren are included. So if the stepfather is a U.S. citizen, stepchild is under 21 and qualifies as a stepchild for immigration purposes. That means you married the parent of the stepchild before the stepchild turned 18. Then you're going to be covered. We just have to figure out how. How can one contact you for services for asylum? Call the office, go to the link in the profile. My number is always in either in the video or in the caption. So go ahead, use link in the profile on all platforms, or go to the description of the video. You'll see the link there and get in touch with us. The number is there, the link is there, the website is there, everything is there. It's very easy to get in touch. If I get married to a U.S. citizen and file for children under 21 and join the military and apply for citizen, does my daughter get it too? So with apply for citizenship. So as a U.S. citizen, any children you have under 21 will qualify. You being a U.S. citizen, and I noticed you said you joined the military, and it just depends because right now they're expanding the benefits to spouses and children of U.S. citizens, of course, who have lived here for the past 10 years continuously. If your I-601 waiver was approved and you qualify for PIP, will your case go faster when you apply for the green card? Not necessarily. They're going to have to establish processing times for that. Usually, my experience is parole in place usually takes 3 to 6 months. So, you're going to have to sit down and evaluate the pros and cons of the additional weight. Will the USCIS turn down my filing if I put it in 4 months before? Yeah, they will. I don't know what filing you have, but and keep in mind, I'm not your attorney. I haven't even looked at your filing. But in general, if you are not supposed to apply and you apply 4 months before that date, they will no doubt um, deny you and tell you to reapply. So, why would the USCIS say your case decision is 4 months pending for your work authorization? It's just one of the annoying things they're doing right now, and then they drag you along with it. So, I can't tell you why, but it is definitely annoying. And HR also did my international background check for employment, and they knew I was not a citizen. Okay, so definitely get in touch with us if you want to talk about that issue. Now, keep in mind, under no circumstance should you ever put that you're a U.S. citizen on any job applications. It will not only affect your job in the future, it's going to affect your ability to ever get your green card. So no matter how tempted you are to do this, do not do it. By the way, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm starting with questions on Instagram, but keep in mind, I am moving my way across the platform. So please, we can all learn from this. We can all learn from the questions that others are asking, but just bear in mind that I'm going to work my way around to you. So keep putting those questions in the comments and I will definitely go through the questions. Is it true that filing is expedited if you're getting married to someone serving in the Army? No, not automatically, but what happens is usually if you're married to a military member, you may be facing certain circumstances that can get you approved for an expedited process. Will the USCIS turn down my filing if 4 months before my son turns 21, I put in the filing? Yes, they will. Your filing needs to be approvable at the time you're filing the application. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. My mother did her interview and medical 2 months now. She hasn't received her passport back as yet. Question, how long does it take to get back? So I've seen it in a couple of weeks. 2 months may indicate they're a bit backed up. You have to contact them to figure out what's going on. Hello, attorney, can I apply for green card while I'm in the state with visitor's visa? Please let me know, not just with a visitor's visa. So a visitor's visa does not qualify you for the green card. Now, say you're here and you're married to a US citizen, and of course, you have to keep in mind the wait time of 90 days, the 90-day wait period. Because if you apply within 90 days of your arrival within the US, you can face charges of misrepresentation and a denial of your application. So, very important that you take that into consideration. But if you qualify while being here to apply for adjustment of status, for example, through a spouse, then you can go from visitor's visa to green card in a matter of months, less than a year. But you have to qualify. If you're just here on your visitor's visa, there's no way you can just take your visitor's visa and go trade it in for a green card. Hello, madam. I have an AOS pending application. I'm a UK citizen and my US spouse is withholding my documents. What are my options? VAWA. So just the fact that your spouse, your US spouse, is holding onto your documents, VAWA right off the bat. Get in touch with us. This is what we do for our clients. Give us a call. Let's talk through your situation to make sure it fits within VAWA and get started. It is confidential, by the way, so your spouse will never know that you switched to the new VAWA process. I'm on OPT visa. Can I apply for asylum? You can apply for asylum as long as you meet the timelines and deadlines. If you can show change circumstances, then yeah, you need to definitely look at asylum as long as you qualify for it. Hi there, good morning. Where's your office located? So we are in Delray Beach as well as Boca Raton in Florida. Now, even though we are in Boca Raton and Delray Beach, Florida, we service clients all over the country. My clients are all over the country, so we're a nationwide law firm. Our base is here in Florida. Hello, good afternoon. Hi there. How long did it take to approve your visit? So I'm not sure what visit that was. Thanks so much for the blessings. How long did it take to approve the visa? So it ranges. I say prepare for a processing time that can go 6 months to 18 months, on average 12 months. I got my GED. Would there be any help for me? Congratulations on the GED. Unfortunately, there are no options just based on GED, getting the GED. Of course, showing that you've gained the GED can be helpful sometimes, where we are required to show certain character traits, certain positive factors, but getting the GED alone will not get any kind of immigration help. After the visa is approved, how long can I travel? How long can I request travel authorization? So that I am working with clients on a case by case basis. Just because, when it comes to travel, we have to make sure that it's going to fit our client's circumstances. Now, if you have an immediate need to travel, then that's going to be the time to apply for the travel authorization. But you have to make sure that you can, consider all the risk involved. Asylum pending. Hi there. Nice to see you. Asylum pending since 2019. Any way forward about new Biden law? Can it favor a divorcee who initially married a citizen? Divorcees who are married a citizen and you ended up getting divorced, it's been less than 2 years since your divorce and that spouse mistreated you, that's VAWA. And that can lead directly to the green card, the work permit, and green card. So you wouldn't even need Biden's law, but I don't know if you've been divorced for less than 2 years. Biden's law right now does not address the any divorcees or widowers, so not right now. But you should be exploring VAWA if you've been divorced for less than 2 years. My TPS status show estimated time until your case decision 3 months. Case decision estimated time until your current step is completed 2 months. So yes, that is a USCIS thing. I go by my own processing times based on my clients just because that may not always be accurate. How long takes VAWA approval? My receipt is from July 2022. Thank you. So you can expect 2.5 to 3 years approval, but in the meantime, you should be able to apply for adjustment of status, get your work permit, social security number, and travel document that can help you to get a head start on life while you wait for that approval. Can CPS come to your house if you filled VAWA psychological abuse outside house? So it no, not normally, but if, for example, you did an appointment with a therapist where the therapist feels like the child is in danger, immediate danger, they may have ethical requirements to report to CPS. So maybe that's where the concern is coming in. But usually, doing a psychological evaluation alone is confidential. But I don't know what the circumstances are in your case. Get in touch if you are concerned. Do I need I-160 for a T visa? So I'm not sure if you're talking about the DS-260, which is the visa. Uh, no. So if you're here in the US, that's not going to be the first step. Sounds like you need to evaluate your options and help with your options. Get in touch with us. You can't go wrong there. We're very good at what we do and we can help you. How can we check about criminal or other charge in the USA? Why travel outside of the USA? If you do an FBI background check on yourself, that's a good way to see what's going on with your background. Hello, can I apply for marriage-based adjustment of status with parole under D1, D2, T2, 212 D5A? So that is parole, by the way. That's parole at the border. Can I apply for marriage-based adjustment of status? So usually, as long as you were paroled without conditions, then yes, you can apply for adjustment of status through marriage. That is, by the way, similar to what Biden is offering. He's offering parole in place, which is similar to this, where it's you get paroled, you get permission to be here. Can I do T visa or should I let my son file for me? Get in touch with us. Let's talk about all of your options and which one is the best one for you. Thanks so much, Alicia. I appreciate that. Thank you. And you have a good day too. To advance my case, supposedly it would have accelerated the case, but no. So I'm sorry, I may have missed. Okay, F1 PD January 26, 2015. I applied for expedite and got approved. April 17, 2024, NVC sent case to Honduras. Embassy told me I had to schedule my own interview date, but none available. What can I do? So in a case like that, where you got it expedited, now you have to schedule an expedited appointment. I would definitely get back in touch with the embassy to bring this forward to them. But that really is a case where it's not the usual. It would have to be dealt with. So based on experience, usually with me, I would go to the channels that I need to go to get around that. So this is where it's very important to have an attorney. What is the difference between withholding of removal and deferral of removal? So deferred action is where they are not going to take any action against you. They they have not ordered you removed. Withholding of removal, it means that, as you know, they are putting a hold on your removal, but as soon as something changes, things maybe improve in your country, they can always reserve the right to remove you, to move forward with the deportation. So withholding of removal is usually granted if you are going to face danger like torture or death in your country, but you don't qualify for anything else. The court will say, okay, some courts, they will actually go as far as to say ordered removed, but they're granting a hold on the removal. Hi there, good afternoon. Please, is it a good sign to receive evidence, evidence to receive, I think SJIS after submitting VAWA case? I'm sorry, this is a bit convoluted. I definitely, let's talk in an appointment. With the new T visa rules, can you get a work permit faster before the decision? No. Now, under the new rules, they do address prima facie, similar to VAWA, where remember every year the T visa has 5,000. So this is another reason why you need to jump on it. They have a 5,000 limit. As soon as they reach the 5,000 limit, they're not going to deny cases, but what they're going to do is put you on a wait list. And then they give you what's called a prima facie determination to say, okay, we've reached the cap. We have to wait for more visas to become available, for another 5,000 visas to become available. So here's what we'll do. We'll give you a prima facie determination, and you can get your work permit and deferred action while you wait for the visa to become available. So they address that now to make it clear that they will be treating any kind of cap when they reach the cap. They've never reached a cap, but I have a feeling at the pace they're going and the new changes, they're going to reach the cap. So they usually issue 5,000 and a year, and then after that you won't be denied, but you'll be given a work permit and some time to wait on on the visa to become available. Is there any help for me right now as it regards to getting documents? This is where you need to reach out and get some help. We do appointments with clients to determine their options. If your mother petitioned for you and you are over 21, how long does it take for them to approve the I-130 if you are in the USA and she's a citizen? So I'd say that since you're outside of the US, you're looking at a year to a year and a half. Good afternoon. If a person is married for more than 15 years but not living together, how does one benefit from the Freedom Plan? So I don't know what if we're talking the Freedom Plan. Not sure what you're referring to here, but we do know that Biden just announced these new rules. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but there's nothing here that's going to be that is solid, that is set in stone for anyone who has been here for more than 15 years, unfortunately. Not yet. Biden is definitely going in the right direction by starting with this new plan to grant spouses and children, stepchildren of US citizens their papers. But we have yet to see more. Him winning the election would definitely give him more time. I'm a lawyer and a member of the American Bar Association, and I intend to apply for B1, B2 visa to attend ABA conference, and my wife has filed I-130 petition, which is pending. Can my visa be approved? It's possible. You do have to show with a pending I-130, though, that you will return to your country after your visit. So you have to definitely go to your visa interview prepared to show evidence that you still have strong ties to your home country, because they'll do a balancing test, and they'll see if they just see that you have very little to remain in your country. You have your spouse, you're a member of the ABA. You can, pick up and settle here in the US as a lawyer with your wife. That might sway them to deny the visa. So you have to be very careful with that visa interview. How long will it take to get 10-year green card if you file for I-751 with extreme cruelty waiver? So right now they're issuing 4-year extensions because it can take up to 4 years. I've seen on average 2.5 years. Will this Biden PIP affect U visa to expedite and expand the work permits for lots of U visa applicants? So that's one of the things that he has expressed that he wants to do. He wants to increase the number of visas available for T and U visas. U visas is a huge problem though, because it's a 10-year long process now because there are so many people applying for it. So that's his goal, mainly through congressional changes to the laws. He's encouraging them to do it because as using his executive power is limited. Certain things Congress has to change. So when it comes to increasing visa numbers, that might be something Congress has to address. But that is one of the things that if Biden wins, we can see that on the agenda. Now, keep in mind, the president is one thing, but we also have to take into consideration Congress, that Senate and the House of Representatives, because they also, a big chunk of immigration law statute is decided by Congress. And if we don't get the right people in Congress, this will not change. And President Biden can only do so much. So that's why President Biden is granting parole in place, because it is within his executive power to do that. But he can't change statutes, right? And that is where Congress has to come in. Are there any updates on help for me to get my documents? Talk to us in a consultation. We'll definitely be able to evaluate your options. If my marriage-based adjustment of status was denied because my wife failed to send documents, can I apply for adjustment of status with VAWA? Yes, absolutely. And keep in mind, by the way, the fees are now free. Before you had to pay a fee, now zero fees to apply for VAWA. Zero fees for work permit, zero fees for adjustment of status, zero fees for the VAWA petition, zero fees for your travel document, zero fees for your work permit. So they are giving you additional incentive to move forward with the VAWA process here. They're making it easier for you. Now, go ahead, call the office. They'll be able to help you to determine a good appointment time. Now, it is me and Attorney Bria. So we do have other attorneys that work with me because my goal is I have an ethical obligation to help as many people as possible. And of course, we only have 8 hours, working hours in the day. So we have multiple attorneys right now, me, Attorney Bria, that are working to evaluate your options and get started on your options. Attorney Bria works closely with me. So if you want to get on my schedule, go to the link in the profile. You'll be able to see my schedule as well as Attorney Bria's. Get on it. Either way, we will get to your options. If Trump is elected, won't Trump make immigration difficult? That's why it's very, very important to get started now. One of the things that you don't realize is that whatever changes, so if Trump wins, I'm having faith that he will not, praying that he will not, hoping that those of you who have the power to participate in the voting process, you understand how important it is that he not win this election. Because yes, he's going to make it difficult. But why it is urgent now is because whenever they make changes, They are looking forward. They're not looking backwards, right? So Trump isn't going to look at people and actually it's under the law, they can't do that. They can't say everybody 10 years back who got their green cards, we're going to take those green cards from you. Everybody 10 years back who had the T status, we're going to take your T status away from you. They can't do that. So that is why it's very important to do your make your address your changes now, because they can only make changes going forward, not looking backwards, right? So don't don't go into the shadows to hide, because you're just doing yourself an injustice by not evaluating your options and understanding how you can make a change today, so that you won't be one of those people, if there are any changes, any negative changes, that you will not be included in those changes in the future, because you already got your things in the past. Even submitting your application, submitting your documentation now puts you in a better position, especially if you're out of status or you're in a situation where you're undocumented. It puts you in a better position because, once again, whenever they make regulatory changes, it's effective in the future. They don't make it effective going backwards. So this is another important reason to make sure that you get your things in. And another reason why I would say to you, because I hear this a lot, is like, oh well, if I apply, I might get denied. What happens if I get denied? Well, the thing about it is that you're at a higher risk doing nothing than if you have your documentation and you have a fighting chance. And I don't submit applications for clients where they don't qualify. So this is why it's very important to not let your fear make you do nothing, because you're actually compromising yourself even further by doing nothing. My EAD was denied because USCIS asked for deferral of removal. I was granted withholding of removal. I qualify for military PIP, parent of military veteran. So there's a lot going on here, and this is where it's very important to get representation. I did apply for T, got my receipt and case number, but when I tried to see case status, it does not show. So I'm glad that you brought this up, because it's one of those things too that's completely normal when it says that. And I'm going to tell you why, and you're going to be reassured when I tell you why. But it's sad because many of my clients have been victims of fraud, of cruelty, of abuse. So when we share the receipt notice, we do have to let them know that that's the case. Because if we don't, they become very alarmed and say, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Did you really file it? Is this thing real? It is real. It's just that it is such a confidential, sensitive application. Immigration is obligated to keep your case absolutely confidential. So they don't even allow case updates online because it's so confidential. So this is why you're not seeing it. It's completely normal. I've never had any clients where I could actually check their status online. And the reason is because it's so sensitive. Please, why is filing for a spouse abroad taking so long? Tell me about it. They're just backed up. With new T visa rules, can you get a work permit faster before the decision? Already answered that. No. I-130 filed since October 2023, so it can take up to 9 months to a year to get a decision. And that before I jump to TikTok, I'm just gonna answer a few more quick questions here. When they ask for an RFE for I-130, what's the next step? Then you need to answer the RFE on time. And usually our RFE for I-130 means that they might be addressing the bona fides of the marriage. So this is where it's important to get an attorney involved to properly address that RFE. I was held in immigration detention and released and issued withholding of removal. So you can't renew your green card based on withholding of removal. It's not an immigration status. It just means that you get to stay here. My asylum case has been on pending for interview since 2019. What can I do? So it's taking anywhere. Hi there, Joshua Washi. So it's taking 3 to up to 10 months for the process to go through. So what's the next step if you don't get a letter they said they sent? Then you're gonna have to ask them to resend that letter. Joseph, was it close? Oh, so somebody's talking in the chat. Can I adjust my status through marriage if I come to state with C1 D category visa? So usually they will not allow you to adjust through status if you came with a C1D category visa. If I already have an EAD that hasn't expired, I should still apply for I-765. No, this it depends. You have an EAD that hasn't expired, but was your case denied? Because if your case was denied, that EAD is no longer valid. In that case, you have to reapply for an EAD. Do you work with vaccine exemptions for adjustment of status? So we do those when we're working with our clients. If our clients want to be exempt from vaccinations and they want the waiver, yes, we do throughout the process of applying for adjustment of status for our clients. Now, to be exempt from the vaccinations and to get the waiver, you have to show that you are opposed either morally or religiously against all vaccines, not just one vaccine. I-130 actively reviewed date change twice. What does it mean? So it just means that they might have been doing something in the background of your application. You still have to wait. If you filed your I-601, you get approved. Can immigration ask you to do it again? So no, so unless there are additional inadmissibilities. So remember, you have to state all the reasons you're inadmissible and then get forgiveness for all those reasons. If you miss one, that means and they approve the I-601, that means you did not get that forgiveness for the one you missed. So in that case, they may tell you to go back and do it again if you missed one of your reasons that you're asking for forgiveness. My case was sent to the State Department. Can I expedite it? You can request an expedite. They will, if you can usually show any kind of urgent medical need to move your case forward, or humanitarian need. How are you? Are you Jamaican? Yes, I am. So I was born here in the US. So I'm a Jamaican, I guess you'd say, but I grew up in Jamaica. So I 100% have the Jamaican accent because I grew up from the time I was 4 years old until I was 17 years old. I lived in Jamaica. And then I came here for college, law school, the rest is history. So I am Jamaican. My parents are Jamaican, and majority of my family are in Jamaica or Jamaican. Do you work with vaccine exemptions? So I answered that. Are you working? Let's see. Okay. I had an order of removal, but I'm a green card holder. Can I get my citizenship or renew my green card? If you had an order of removal after you got your green card, it means that they probably revoked your green card. So you may not be a green card holder anymore. This is where it's very important to make sure that you are represented and you understand your process. In your experience, you know when we're going to start filing for the new parole in place, August, September. So they do have to go through the regulatory process where they announce it, and then it goes through a period, a notice period, and then starts. So once again, as I said, remember this, they don't just make a change. There's a process with a change, and that's why they look forward, and that's why they're going to say effective on this date, which is probably going to be June 17, 2024, effective on this date. So it's at the time President Biden made the announcement, he's looking forward. So this is why it's urgent to make sure that you still evaluate your options now, because they are going to look forward, not backwards. Can you travel on T visa outside USA, like your home country? That's going to be on a case-by-case basis. It's possible, but on a case-by-case basis. My son is a green card holder. Can he put in a petition for me until he turns? No, he has to be a US citizen and 21 or older. How do I remove a joint sponsor from my I-130? So a joint sponsor would be on your affidavit of support, and you'd probably have to inform them. But this is a document that's usually signed by the sponsor. So, you know, you're in iffy gray territory here when we're talking about removing a joint sponsor. Now, if you have two people applying for you to get your green card, one shouldn't interfere with the other, unless, of course, you're married to one that's filing for you and you're the child of one that's filing for you, and you're supposed to be unmarried versus married. So that may cause an issue there. How much for your consultation? $150. Go ahead, go to the link in the profile, DM. You can always DM me. And by the way, they have this nifty little feature here. So let me see where I can add the form. So I'm going to pin it to the screen. Downside is it gives you 30 seconds. Fill out this form, and then I will, go ahead, take your information, and we will get back in touch with you to help you to schedule an appointment so we can get talking. So it's there on the screen. It's only, by the way, on TikTok. It's not on Instagram, and it's not on YouTube. So the attorney, so let's see, I filed U visa and the case happened some 20 years. Do you think USCIS will expedite my case? I was not aware of this U visa until, so no, it's depending on the date that you apply. But in about a year and a half to 2 years, you'll get your 4-year work permit based on deferred action. And you can continue to renew that until you get approved for the U visa. Can I petition my sister overstayed here in the US? I'm now a citizen. If you petition for your sister, it's not going to be a fast process, 14 years. So usually where you're looking to get this done tomorrow or yesterday, it's not going to happen. And in some cases, it leads to a dead end. Please, what's the best way to go when a USA citizen spouse and in abroad, K3? So let's talk. Now it's going to be consular processing, meaning at the embassy, but I need to understand your situation. Hi, my husband's paperwork was approved since 2020 and have heard nothing since. We need to understand what kind of paperwork was approved. Will I be able to fly within the USA even my K1 visa is expired and currently working on my green card? Now, if you have your green card, you can go anywhere you want to go, and you can even travel outside of the United States. You're a green card holder. You just can't stay outside of the US for more than 6 months, 6 consecutive months. That can be a problem for your citizenship, or they can assume you've abandoned your green card. But you have a lot of freedom now that you're a green card holder. Please, what's the best way to go when having a US citizen and I'm abroad? You're going to do it through the embassy. So it's a 2-step process, filing the I-130 first, and then going on to the to the embassy at the interview at the embassy after approval of the petition in the US. How long does it take to receive a receipt notice for I-485? I'd say 2 weeks to get the receipt notice. My EAD and I-130 was approved. Still, I-485 is pending. Y legally entered, category C9. Yeah, they may need something. It might be just be backed up, might be on an officer's desk. Hang tight, but it's a good sign that I-130 is approved. I know it's a little nerve wracking. The I-485, they might ask for a new medical, or they may even ask for an interview. So you should you'll have to wait and see. He can apply to you. So I have apply AOS right now. Will I still be able to fly within the US? Yes, you'll be able to fly within the US. You can travel. I mean, the it depends on your circumstances. I'm not your attorney. I don't know your case, but once you apply for AOS, even if you didn't apply for AOS, I've had clients who have traveled around the US without status, and it's been fine. But it depends on what your circumstances are. I crossed the border, but my dad is a green card holder. Can he still petition for me? So you usually need to show, and this new law for spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens does not include green card holders. So no, he can petition for you, but as for to get to the green card, you might have to jump through some extra hoops. Is Trump gonna deport you even if you have a work permit? So the work permit is a good start. Work permit means you have permission to be here, you have permission to live and work here. So a work permit is probably gonna be more protection than not. It means you're on the right path. Either you have status or you're on the right path to getting the green card. All right, I have to head out. Once again, you need help to get status, figuring out your options. I'm it. This is what I do for a living, and we're very good at it. Go to the link in the profile. You will see everything you need to get in touch. Schedule your own appointment. Call the office. Everything is there. Go ahead, call us. We're here to help you. We're very good at it. So we'll wait for your call. That is what I can only give you general information, but you really need to reach out to get the help you need. So thanks again for all your time. Thanks for your amazing questions. And I'm really looking forward to keep coming back Mondays through Fridays to be able to touch base with you. So, so far, 2 days out of the 5 days I've been here. So I'm aiming to keep this up Mondays through Fridays. But here's what you do. Follow me, subscribe, and then when you see me go on, you can jump on with me to continue to ask questions or get some good updates and information. Have a great one. See you again soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Bye-bye.